be long and gone. I'll be forgotten, but what the American Bully is 100 years from now, that's what I'm looking at, so it's not a financial thing and it's not an immediate thing. It's a long-term project that's going to take time. And I do truly believe that if you start separating now and you're going to all these different entities, you'll destroy this project long before it's ever truly out the door.
You hear that, guys? I hope you guys are taking notes, man. I hope you guys are taking notes. You can't hear from anywhere else. Nowhere else. I want to ask you, now, again, back to the whole UK situation, because, again, like you were saying earlier, like the APBTs and the banning and stuff like that. And did you ever, were you ever prepared or ever thought maybe like something of this magnitude would happen or could happen?
So let me tell you a little something today that I actually told a reporter today, because it took us a long time to have our own identity. And when we to separate our breed from the American Pit Bull Terrier breed, one of the things we truly focused on was the temperament of our breed, because everybody who owns a true American Pit Bull Terrier, which I have almost my entire life, they understand that it's a high drive dog, and that's part of what its creation is. And it's a high drive dog. When you're dealing with high drive dogs, you're always going to run into situations where if people aren't responsible dog owners, they're going to have problems. And that's just the nature of owning a high drive dog. If you have a high drive dog, you need to know what you own. You need to have to work your dog. You need to know how to train your dog. I mean, it takes a responsible dog owner to own a high drive breed, period. That's why I tell people when we're getting into breeds like the Malinois. To me, the Malinois is a super high drive breed, and that's a breed that constantly needs working. It constantly needs to be engaging. And if you are not the type of owner to own that breed, then you have something very dangerous on your hands, because you don't know how to keep that dog focused and to work that dog and to understand the mentality of that breed. The Pit Bull is not by any Malinois by any stretch, but it's a high drive breed. And when we created the American Bully, one of the biggest things was we need to remove some of those elements, because if we're going to create a dog that we want to distinguish from the American Pit Bull Terrier, then it needs to be distinguishable in many ways, including temperament being a big one. So one of the biggest factors in the American Bully was to create a dog that wasn't high drive, that didn't have any animal aggression or any of these things, so that anybody who owned the dog still is going to have to deal with the stigma, because the dog is a tough looking masculine, dog. They're still going to deal with that stigma, but they shouldn't have an animal on their hands that carries that type of a temperament. So if we remove those elements from the temperament, then we have a chance at having a breed that's going to have stability and longevity. It's going to change public perception of many things. You know how many people are labeled incorrectly because of the way they look in this world? People constantly label people because you feel a person looks this way, that they're this way, without actually knowing what it is. We automatically knew that having a tough looking, muscular dog, that public perception might be this dog is mean, when in actuality it's not mean. And in actuality, it's it's a gentle, loving breed. It's not the Pit Bull. And so that type of temperament was bred into our dogs on purpose to separate from the dogs. So for me to hear American Bully carry this stigma of being a man biter and all these things is extremely disheartening and crazy, because to me, those are not traits in the breed. And if you look at our breed standard, the number one disqualification is human aggression. That is not to be in breeding or anything. If you go to an ABKC dog show and you have a human aggressive dog, our community is going to shun you. You ain't walking in that door. You're getting sent right back out of there, and then we're going to get it, and we're going to look at it in your pedigree or in your paperwork and see what we need to do about it on the back end, because we need to make sure that element never exists. This is the importance of ABKC shows, because you go to an ABKC show, I guarantee you, if you have a human aggressive dog at that show, I guarantee you, we won't have to do anything. That community is automatically going to handle that situation. And that dog is going to be removed by everybody, reported. And then on our end, we're the ones that on the back end will pull the paperwork on that dog. And this has happened one time with a dog, in all these years. So it's like, that's something that we call ourselves in our community. That's why our shows are so important, because this is where we can actually have eyes on animals, So to me, this is like the most disheartening thing of all, because this is a we like I said, we created this breed for a certain temperament, and a dog that does not display temperament should never be in our breed. It's not part of our breed. So it's disheartening to hear that label thrown on our dogs, because that is one of the main points of what we bred to not be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that hurts me. But again, if you look at most of these cases, most of the cases of what they're showing are not actual American bullies. And most of these dogs you're seeing are not of a true American bully breed. There, you know, that's the problem with the term XL right now. They throw that term on tall dogs, you know, and there's a community of pit bull breeders that breed what you call an XL pit bull, you know, so they're just XL, and American Bully saying XL, and then you got other people creating band dogs that are saying XL. It's difficult because that's why you kind of really need to stand behind your breed and make it clear what your breed is, or you run into these situations where too many things are being labeled as something that they're not, you know, or being all put under one label, and that's very difficult. And again, it's difficult for us because we have statistics. I can tell you right now. I'll give you an example right now. In the UK, we have partly shy of 100,000 American bullies registered in the UK. We could say 100,000, but it's right there, right? And I have the actual documentation of this. I can show this. I can go to what we have. And then if you compare that to the actual cases of an American bully, an ABKC registered American bully in a bite attack or something like that, you can statistically prove without a doubt that this breed is not a dangerous breed. Because even if you have 5 attacks, we have 100,000 dogs that didn't have an attack, right? So that shows you the ratios are way off. You can't judge something because of 2 or 3 dogs. And I'm not saying that 2 or 3 dogs were true American bullies. I'm just giving a scenario of even if they were, we're talking the vast, vast majority aren't. And we have documented proof of that. If you're not registering with us and the dogs aren't with us, we can't support the statistics because we don't have the statistics. We have nothing to go on. But if it's an American Bully ABKC registered dog, we can go on the statistics and we can fight from that angle. Not that angle is going to be the answer to all. Not that angle is going to win every battle, but it's part of a battle that we have power and control in by saying, I'm sorry, but there's 100,000 American bullies registered in the UK. And let's say what what they're saying right now, there's been 10 attacks, right? And then they're showing these attacks, and the ones they're showing, guarantee 5 that I've seen are not an American bully. I mean, some were a pit bull, some mastiff.
I agree.
I can't go out there and flat out say none were because I don't have the proof, but they haven't shown the proof either. So there's no way of actually knowing, but let's just, in the worst case scenario, say 5 were. 5 out of 100,000 is nothing. That's statistically strong to show that your breed isn't dangerous. So, you know, that's just another thing. But in the UK, we're attacking this from different angles because, unfortunately, when you have a prime minister that makes a statement like that, then Parliament has already made their decision. And at that point, I mean, it's doubtful that you're going to get the ear of Parliament, but what you'll have to do is fight it from other angles, whether or not what they decide can be carried out and whether or not it can be carried out truly legally. So we're going to do our best to fight this. But